Boom, boom. This is Ken, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Azur laying on tap today. Got a lot to cover, so let's just jump right into it. Let's talk a little bit about the events first here. So we've got the preparation for the Iron Blood event. These are the 4 ships that you want to work on. They can get an experience plus 20. So if you run them, you get 20% extra experience, which is nice. It's a good way to level them up fast. The second phase will be coming out tomorrow night, so you want to make sure that you run them today and tomorrow to get as much if you're going to use them. This is the chat frame, standard chat frame event. There's nothing different about this. You'll get a bunch of missions. There will be some new ships, and we're going to talk about one of those new ships coming out tomorrow for the Iron Blood fleet. So, but this is the same thing. You know, you get 3,400 points. You can get the frame. Okay, nothing major, nothing might change. All right, this is the blueprint rune event. Okay, so as you know, each time you do a research, you're getting a blueprint for rune, which is okay. I've already got rune completely maxed out. I've even done her fate simulation to get all of her luck. So I'm just selling them in the in the shop to get blueprints for the other one. I'll show you that in a second. I did complete this. It's a pretty risque outfit, so I'm not going to show it here in all of its glory. But it's pretty good. It's easy to get. You just need to run some events. I got this one as well, but I already had it, so I got 2,000 coins. So, you know, it is what it is. As for those rune blueprints that you do have, if you're not doing rune, I would suggest that you do rune because she's an excellent damage dealer and tank for your Vanguard for the Iron Blood fleet. But you go to the prototype shop and you can just do the analysis and sell the rune blueprints right here. That will give you core, and you can then use your core to purchase. This is the core right here, prototype core, and then you can use this to purchase other blueprints for other ships that you do actually need blueprints for. So it's, you know, I like that. I like the fact that they have that. So the blueprints that you're not using or don't need don't go to waste. Now the key is here, you can't just sell blueprints inside of this shop. You can only sell blueprints for a ship that you have already completed the development for. Okay, so you can't just go in and start selling all your blueprints. You have to complete the ship. I've completed Rune. Okay, so now that I've completed her, maxed her out, then you can sell blueprints for that ship inside of the actual core shop. Okay, so it's only for ships that you've maxed. Okay, so you could do that, but it's good. It's a good way to you know, the ones that for ships that you've completed that you get runes for, and you will get blueprints for them. It just, you know, it's a chance to get certain blueprints, so sometimes you're going to get blueprints for ships that you've already completed. So whenever you do, just sell them in the shop. All right, so let's talk about the second reason for the video here. An event update came out a few days ago, and one of the ships got what most people in Azur Lane community are considering to be the biggest buff in Azur Lane history, and it occurred on Graf Zeppelin. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, you know I have mentioned Graf Zeppelin on a few occasions, bemoaning her pitiful damage. Well, she no longer, it does pitiful damage, so we will not be bemoaning her anymore. I was originally going to remove her from my Iron Blood fleet and put FDG in there, who does a tremendous amount of damage. But I'm not going to do that now because they've made her a tier. She's max tier ship now. When these new ships come out, one of the ships that's coming out is Peter Strasser. Okay, if Peter Strasser is good, she protects your Vanguard along with okay, decreases the damage all Iron Blood ships in your fleet take by 15% for every Iron Blood ship in the same fleet as this ship. Okay, it also increases the ship's aviation by 5. So you want to make sure that you have at least 3. You should be running a max Iron Blood fleet. Okay, that's guarantee you're going to get that. If Peter Strasser is as good as people are saying, okay, the slow ability and whatnot, we could actually have, she'll be God tier. Okay, so you got slowing and the defense buff that she gives, as well as the damage that she's showing out now, that every ship in her air slot efficiency has a 30% increase, along with a dive bomber in the 3rd slot, which has a converging torpedo. What that means is they come out in a wide spread and then they slowly converge, and they hit. I've never seen it miss. They will take down a boss fast, very fast. So she's now a boss killer. She's almost god tier ship. We'll have to wait until Peter Strasser comes out, and I will of course do a video on her when it comes out. But she's coming out in this second phase here of the event. And you know, they always put out like 3 or 4 new ships whenever they have one of these chat screen events. So Peter Strasser is the one coming out. We know that she has slowing ability. So it should make things a little bit different. So we're going to have to see. Okay. Now, one of the things that you might want to do in terms of a good fleet would be FDG, okay, Graf Zeppelin, and Peter Strasser in the backfield, and then have your double runes and mains on the front. Mains is a priority ship, so if you don't have mains, you can go for the baby mains, which is Prince Eugen. Okay, Prince Eugen's tanky. Mains is a lot better, of course, but because she's a priority ship, I'm going to be working on her shortly. I already started some of the construction on her, but I switched over to the IGN fleet because I wanted to get it ready for Operation Siren. I'm almost finished with it. I've got most of the ships up to 120. I'm just waiting on a few more. But so yeah, you know, FDG, Graf Zeppelin, Peter Strasser in the backfield, then double runes and mains on the front line would be an excellent god tier Ironblood fleet. That would be excellent for Operation Siren and excellent on the Hear You meta. So yeah, she's no longer, she's a very, very, very good ship. They've completely, her biggest part was she didn't do any damage. Okay, they took care of that, and now she has an excellent buff for the other ships in the fleet. So she's going to do a serious damage reduction, combined with Peter Strasser's slow ability and the ability to protect the Vanguard, which is 2 of her. You're going to have, you know, a tanky. Put 2 runes. Rune's already a tank, and she does excellent damage. I mean, yeah, we're looking at a seriously strong Ironblood fleet for Operation Siren and for the Hear You meta, for the Ashes event, which I'll show you here shortly. Okay, so yeah, you definitely want to put her in your fleet. She's definitely something to work on. Now, her third slot, you're able to equip a dive bomber. This is one of the things that makes her extremely powerful because of the converging torpedo that the dive bombers do. So if you go into, as you can see, I have the JU-87C in there. That's what you want to get for right now, but you want to work towards, if you go into the Gear Lab and go into the Ironblood section and go into Torps, as you can see, this is what I have there right now. So it's the second best aircraft for that slot. This is what you want to work up to, but this requires some mats that you'll have to get inside of Operation Siren, so you won't have this yet. Well, you might, but I seriously doubt anybody's got it yet. Well, there might be some hardcores out there doing 6 and 7, 8 hours a day, might have farmed enough mats to create the ship. But if you don't, you can get this rather easily. Okay. So JU-87C dive bomber. Okay, and just put that in there in the interim until you get your hands on the 87D. All right, so yeah, this is going to make, you know, this is going to make pretty good setup. So let's talk a little bit more about Operation Siren. Now you want to do this. You get the option to run the Ashes Showdown. I'll show you it here on inside. Go into battle. Go into Operation Siren. You want to do the Ashes Showdown. You get 3 shots a day. So you always want to make sure that you do this, even if you're not going to do anything else in Siren. You don't have to beat the boss. The only thing you have to do is fight the boss. Okay. So we're going to do a little damage test here for Graf Zeppelin. I've got Shinano in there, Rune Z23, Prince Eugen, and Bismarck as the flagship. So let's see exactly what we get here, and we'll see who does the most damage. Now, I'm not going to beat her. I'll probably get her down to around 70, but I want to show you something. Look at this does serious damage to your front Vanguard, these cards that are coming out from her. As you can see, it's doing pretty good damage. I have an extremely tanky front line. Rune is a tank. Prince Eugen is a tank. Okay, So those two ships are throwing up. Prince Eugen's throwing up a shield, okay, and Rune is shielding as well. So, and you can still see that this amount of damage, and she's, this is, so you can see the damage that they're throwing out is pretty intense. So if you don't have a fairly tanky fleet, you're not going to survive. Understand that this is a very tanky fleet. This is my Ironblood fleet. All these ships are max 120, max enhancement, max slot equipment on their first 3 slots. I haven't got all the auxiliaries quite maxed out yet, but so that's what these, and their skills are maxed out too. So this is what you can see. So as you can see, if you don't have a fairly decent fleet, you're probably gonna go down pretty quick. This boss, I think this is maybe 3rd or 4th level boss, 4th 760. It might be 5th or 6th level boss. The first boss will be like 5400. 54. I can go through the first 3 by myself. I don't even need another ship. I don't even need. I can kill her right out. But yeah, so we got that. But the reason you want to do it is because of this. Even if you don't beat her, you still just get rewards for doing it. So this is what you want to get. This is called the synchronization points, and these are you're gathering these. Let's look at the damage. Okay, so the highest damage was, of course, Rune. This is going to be always the case because Rune is on the front line, and she's a tank, but she's a priority ship. Okay, and I've got her this is a fully maxed priority ship, so that's why she's doing the most damage. Okay, but now let's take a look at what we got here. We've got Shinano second, which is, of course, she's the UR ship. Okay, so she's going to do. But look where we got third. Graf Zeppelin. She's no longer a slouch. Okay, so you definitely, once I get that 3rd slot torpedo dive bomber, which is going to be another main source of damage for her. Once you get that maxed out, she's probably going to beat Shinano. I have heard some people say that in the Ashes Showdown that she has, on occasion, slightly out-damaged Shinano. Those people probably had the JU-87D, and they probably got it pretty high up, because that converging torpedo is a boss killer, and that's what your U is a boss. It's a boss fight. So you'll want to make sure that you're using a fleet that's designed for boss fighting, which does a lot of damage. And that's what the converging torpedo is for. It does not miss. Okay, and you'll see it when it hits. You'll see, you'll see like, I think it's 5 torpedoes come out, and then all of a sudden they'll start converging wherever the target's at. Okay? They don't just go straight and then converge in the center of the screen. It's a torpedo, so it actually converges on the target and hits the target, although all of them impact at the same time, causing a massive amount of damage. So that's what that 3rd slot gives you. It gives you a bunch of damage. So it would not surprise me that she might, on occasion, outpace Shinano. She'll probably never get to Rune's capability simply because she's in the back line. Backline ships don't, launch. They only launch whenever they only fire whenever their aircraft meter hits, and then they launch. But that takes time to charge that up. Rune's constantly just, nailing people with her guns, constantly moving, just shooting all the time, so she's going to do more damage. But you definitely want to have Rune in your fleet. So I'm going to be replacing Z23 with Rune U once I get her up, because she's another tanky defense-oriented ship, and you'll be able to survive a lot of these higher-end bosses in Operation Siren with this. Like I say, FDG, good backline choices would be FDG. But FTG is a high-level priority ship. I'm working on her. I haven't got her finished yet. I have her completed in terms of built, but I'm working on getting the blueprints for her. It's time-consuming, so I haven't quite got there yet. She's about halfway done. For your backlines, you want to look at FTGs, Bismarcks, and Graf Zeppelins. Okay, you might want to throw Shinano in there as well, as I've done here, just for more damage for your backline. You also want to put Peter Strasser in there. Peter Strasser, as this is coming out in the next event, she'll be coming out. You'll see her tomorrow night when they do the update. You'll see her up in the morning for the second part of the Ironblood event. So you definitely want to get her because she can. If Peter Strasser is as good as we think she's supposed to be. She's going to have a slowing ability, okay, which is supposed to be outstanding. So you combine that would push Graf Zeppelin and Peter Strasser in the backfield into a fleet that would have one of the, if not the most powerful vanguard in the game, the tankiest vanguard in the game. So definitely something that you want to look at. So you definitely want to try to get your hands on Peter Strasser. But yeah, so for backfield, look at FGGs, maybe Shinano, Graf Zeppelin, of course, and Peter Strasser. So any of those 4 ships, you want to put 3 of those 4 ships in the back fleet. Just make sure, to get the full buff for Graf Zeppelin, you need to have 3 Iron Blood ships. So you in the front line, you definitely want to do double rune. Okay, you probably don't have double rune, but at least get rune U. Okay, and another ship. So double runes. You can get Mains. Mains is a priority ship. I'm currently working on her. She is an excellent tank. She does shielding as well. You can get Baby Mains, which you probably already have, which is Prince Eugen. Okay, she does shielding as well too. Not as good, of course, as Mains, but still she does it. So, but yeah, so you definitely want to definitely consider those. All right, and remember to try to do this 3 times a day. You get 3 attempts. That's all. Okay, and you have until March the 18th to finish, but you just want to get started doing it now so that you have plenty of time to finish. It's not something that can be done very quickly, which is why they're giving you like 3.5 months to do it. Okay, so but focus on it so that you get it. As you can see here, it's in Operation Siren. That's the only place you can access it. You can access it from this screen here, but this can only access the reward function. You can't actually access the boss. You actually have to go into Operation Siren, then look down as you saw in my video with the bottom right corner. You'll see Ashes Showdown. And, ooh, okay, that's new. Nano ceramic alloy, rare equipment used. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. See, this is what you're doing this for. You're doing it for other stuff as well too. They got all these new cool high-level mats. I've just got nano ceramic alloy. It's used to improve the aviation capabilities of Ashes ships. So this is something that, yeah, so it'll be used for somewhere in the gear lab. There'll be a piece of equipment that uses that mat. So I'm not sure where it's at yet. But yeah, so so just do it 3 times a day. You can only do it 3 times. After that, you're locked out. You can't do it anymore. So even if you're not running Operation Siren because your fleet is not strong enough, just do the here. You don't have to beat her, as you saw. I didn't beat her. Okay, I did maybe I knocked her down to like 69, and it was at 100. So I burned her down 30 sometimes, 31 times. 31 times. So and I got some. You get rewards. That's all you're looking for. As your fleet gets stronger, you're doing more rewards. You can beat the first 3. I beat the first 3 by myself. I completely defeated, but that's like a 5 or 6 tier. So as you can see, once the tiers start running up, you're not going to be able to beat it. So it's basically just do as much damage as you possibly can. The more damage you do, the more rewards you get. So just focus on it. Do it 3 times a day, and then you don't have to focus on Operation Siren as a whole if you're not ready for it. But you can at least get started on doing some damage, so that you'll be able to acquire the ship, because she is a limited ship. Okay. So once this event goes away, we're not exactly sure. Based on the fact that she's a limited ship for Operation Siren, you probably will not see her again for quite some time. They'll probably be running events with her intermittently where you have a chance to maybe get her, but I would not look for that anytime soon. They usually wait to do stuff like that for like a year. Same with limited outfits, like this limited outfit for, just using it as an example, the limited outfit for Marblehead. It's limited, so it's not going to be in the shop yet. It will come in the shop, but it'll be down the line, and you'll probably have to pay some coinage for it, some of your gems. So, if you do it now, you get it for free. All you have to do is participate in the event. Okay, very generous with their rewards around here. So, but that that's why I like to play this game. But yeah, so take a look at that, and definitely Graf Zeppelin's no longer a slouch. She's a top tier ship right now, and based on how well Peter Strasser is, having Peter Strasser and Graf Zeppelin in the backfield could very well make your Iron Blood fleet into a God tier fleet for excellent for chapters 12, 13, and excellent for Operation Siren. So these ships are attainable. So go ahead and focus on them. So if you got Graf Zeppelin, ignore what my previous videos about her. She is now much better. Okay, biggest update, big update. She's now a powerhouse. All right. So thanks a lot for watching, dear. And remember to subscribe to my channel. Once you've subscribed, you'll see a bell. If you click on that bell, you get notified each time I drop a video. This is Ken Rear coming at you from the corner. And again, a Happy New Year. Signing out.